Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
Catastrophic winds, flooding hitting the Sunshine State tonight. Here's a live look at Hudson Beach, a small beach community located 40 miles north of St. Petersburg. Now, just to give you some context, just an hour ago, what you see there was not there. You can even see a structure.
No, that's a dumpster.
That's a dumpster.
Yeah, no, we were looking at this video about an hour ago, and that water on the roadway was not there. Therefore, that is literally a dumpster right now. And you said this was just 40 miles north of St. Petersburg,
Yeah,
Florida.
and I mentioned that earlier, that what we saw before, that water was not there. You could actually see the road. You can't see it anymore.
And this has been kind of a thing through the course of the evening here over the last couple of hours. The situation has really evolved, and we're going to show you some different views across the west coast of Florida. And I think what's important here to note is the west coast of Florida is not taking a direct hit from Hurricane Helene, but we've got some really powerful video that we want to go through and talk about. We'll start with Matt Lachey, and again, all of this video came from about 6:30, 7 o'clock this evening. A lot of that wind and rain really beginning to move over the roadways there over the last couple of hours.
And I know too, Jordan, that you showed video of Matt Lachey earlier in the 5:30. Here's Bradenton. That's about south of Tampa. You can already see the rain coming in, the roads, and moving on to Tampa. That's the main inland. You can barely see what's in front of you on that camera. It's shaking, it's moving. That is what we're seeing right now, folks. This was just some hours ago. And then we have St. Petersburg. That's a peninsula not too far from Tampa. And you can see that water moving onto the roadway, creating a flood there. And then moving forward, we see St. George Island. Now, this is in the Big Bend area. This is in the panhandle of Florida, and you can see the waves crashing and coming in. And then finally, we have Panama City Beach, and that's the pier from earlier today. Not much activity, but you can see the activity starting to pick up. Also, here's Destin, a vacation spot. It looks pretty quiet there, but we may soon see those changes with Hurricane Helene moving inland. We have our chief meteorologist, Jordan Dressman. Jordan, where is Hurricane Helene right now?
Yeah, at this point, we're getting really close to landfall, and I want to reiterate some of those things that Kenesha was showing you. None of those locations were in the direct path of Hurricane Helene, right? All of those locations were across the west coast of Florida. The hurricane is actually going to make landfall in the Big Bend area, kind of close to the panhandle, but right around the Big Bend area. And again, we are getting really close to landfall. Helene, a very powerful Category 4 hurricane with maximum winds of 140 miles per hour and then a shrinking minimum central pressure. Look at that, a minimum central pressure right around 939 millibars. Back home across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, we are beginning to see the early effects of Helene, mostly in the form of a little bit of light rain this evening. Locations east of the I-65 corridor, talking about some rain, Limestone, Madison County, down into Morgan County, Jackson, DeKalb, portions of Marshall County, already beginning to see a little bit of light rain, and that rain's going to pick up both in coverage and intensity as we head into the overnight. Maybe you're waiting on somebody to come in on a late flight to Huntsville International Airport. So far, so good. The heavier rain back across Georgia not really affecting flights out of the Atlanta International Airport. I think there's still another flight set to come in from Charlotte this evening. We're still looking good over there. So if you're waiting on anybody to get in, all is good in the world. I believe their flight is going to get in on time, despite the fact that we are talking about a lot of rain. We're just the beginning here across the Tennessee Valley, but look at all of this. All of this is what's to come across north, central, and then south Georgia. And then, of course, we have Helene. They're getting ready to make landfall. Flooding is going to be a concern across the Tennessee Valley as we head into the early hours of Friday morning. We'll talk about it in great detail here in just a bit.